It seems appropriate that the first video posted to the Linear Spiral channel is the experience that started it all. I call it my spiritual awakening. I was 14 years old and walking home from school. It was a normal day, blue sky, sunshine. It was a nice day. I was walking down the sidewalk, looking at the houses, the cars, and suddenly I stopped, kind of froze actually, because I had looked at a house and the house was not just a house suddenly. Suddenly it was emanating waves, like waves of itself, waves of houseness. And everything, in fact, was doing that, and it looked like I was impressed with this notion that everything looked illusory, everything looked completely fake and fragile and like shells. Like what I was seeing were shells of existence, not actual things. As I looked around, I was shocked and I was racked with this question of what the is going on here? Like, what am I seeing? What is this? What is going on? What is happening here? And it wasn't, my question wasn't applying to the immediate scene. It wasn't applying to the emanation of the waves. It was to everything. It was to my existence. It was to the world, to being. I was confounded. It was as if I had just woken up in the middle of this, and nobody prepped me for it. Nobody told me, here's what you're going to see when you get there. It was just, suddenly I was awake, and this was what I saw. And I was stunned. There was the briefest of moments. I don't know if you've read Jonathan Livingston Seagull, but in that book, Richard Bach talks about the speed of thought, and he proposes the idea that the speed of thought is the fastest speed, faster than light, actually. And I don't know if that's true, but I do know that you can have many thoughts quickly, and that's what happened during this experience. It was just this briefest of moments. The whole experience, by the way, lasted about 90 seconds, maybe 60 to 90 seconds. And during those seconds, during that minute and a half, there was this one moment where it was as if I had seen behind the veil. It was like I saw that everything was illusion, and I saw behind the illusion what was casting the illusion. But it was so brief, I couldn't identify it. I couldn't articulate it mentally. Like it was, I got a glimpse, but it was such a minimal glimpse that it didn't help. So what I was left with were these burning questions. What's going on here? What's the purpose of this? Why is this here? Why are we here? Why am I here? What's the meaning of life? Is there Is there a reason for this? Is there something I should be doing? What's happening here? What's going on here? From that point on, I started asking anybody and everybody who would talk to me about it, about life, about existence, about purpose. Many people thought that their religion had the answer and were willing to discuss the fact that their religion had the answer, but even those people were not willing to go deep into what those answers were that their very religion claimed to answer. They would give me the party line answer, but they couldn't go deeper. And the answer to the question of what is the meaning of all this, what is the purpose, goes deeper than the surface of what religion can provide. So that was the beginning. I was awake. I was fully awake and desperate to know. From that point on, I sought the answers everywhere. I looked for hidden meanings in songs and stories and paintings. I asked anyone who was willing to talk to me. I read about religions. Religion seemed to promise to have the answer. So I studied religion on my own, and I asked anybody who was willing to talk about their religion. And I continued to seek those answers. And the seeking of meaning and the seeking of the answers to these great mysteries of life led me ultimately to where I am today and to creating the linear spiral. Over the years, over the course of decades actually, and person after person telling me that the seeking of these answers is futile and to stop asking these questions. There was a time period where I stopped asking the questions, and I just kind of existed from day to day. But the questions never left. And as I look upon life, and the more I see the wonder and the amazingness of the world and the universe, as we learn more and I learn more, I am just more and more impressed with these questions. I'm more and more vested in the answers. And I don't believe that there are no answers. I think there are answers to these questions. Some of the answers I've found, and I want to share. There are other answers that I have not yet found, and that I'm continuing to seek. And I'm going to ask for your help in finding those answers in the postulations, which we'll get into later. But whether or not the answers are there, I cannot stop seeking them. I'm really glad you're here, and I hope you enjoy the linear spiral.